The music video Brujas by Princess Nokia is a complex multimedia work of art that empowers the artist's place in society. I recommend watching the music video before the presentation. This indie hip hop piece is important to analyze since it is emblematic to a contemporary change in the United States, the rise of intersectional feminism as a way to perceive women's bodies and celebrate their differences. To illustrate my point, I will analyze this music video, see how Princess Nokia interacts with pop culture, Yoruba mythology, and how she builds on the societal stereotype of the African American woman to create an empowering and multifaceted message. And I'll draw from Audre Lorde's theory of difference and intersectional feminism. So first of all, pop culture references. The imagery of four young women in school outfits is a recreation of the '96 cult film The Craft, where a teenager with magic powers joins a group of young witches. The repeating line, "I'm the Supreme," in the beginning is a reference to a season of the anthology American Horror Story, where the protagonist is a teenager sent to a school for witches, the Supreme being the head witch. The lines on the right refer to the story of the Wizard of Oz. These are all stories of witchcraft, where the heroine is a white young woman. Nokia claims those stories and makes herself the protagonist. And by inserting herself to these stories, she rejects the idealization of black women and the removal from pop culture narratives. Now, references to Yoruba culture. The figure in blue from the beginning of the music video is a representation of Yemaya, mother of Orishas, who are powerful characters from Yoruba mythology, and the goddess of water. The repeating line, "Orisha, my altar," is another mention of the Orishas. "Orisha, my altar," that's repeated, is a second mention of the Orishas. And the shot from the video is very reminiscent of an Orisha altar from the Santeria religion, greatly inspired by Yoruba traditions. Now, use of African American stereotypes. Here she lists off stereotypes of black, what is called ghetto women, as she proudly attaches herself to them, thus disarming them of their humiliating or dehumanizing goals. The stereotype of black women as witches or voodoo practitioners was meant to dehumanize and belittle African American people, to make them look less intelligent or rational than their European counterparts. Princess Nokia again flips this on its head, warmly embraces those aspects of her identity and adapts them to the version that describes her. Princess Nokia identifies herself as both African American and Latina. Audre Lorde has argued that there is no hierarchy of oppression, that every marginalized group is intermixed with all others. Nokia embraces this ideology with her music, creating an ideal image of a strong woman of color that embraces her heritage, that she hopes to inspire other women. She takes both white narratives and stereotypes of women of color and manipulates them cleverly to become the protagonist of the story and the director of the gaze towards her. She rejects the colonizing view of black people and instead strives to create a representative image of the woman of color, one that wasn't imposed upon her, but flows organically from the story and legacy, and displays her as the product of a great and complicated culture.